What's going on, guys? Chuck back with their awesome Blu-ray purchase. This is just a pickups video. So there's not any new releases in this at all. New to me. This was stuff I picked up recently, taking advantage of Amazon or Prime Day, excuse me. And Shout Factory is also having a sale on box sets. So I took a little advantage of that, and also got a couple other titles that I just at random. You sit and I pop in my head, hey, I look for that, and I find it, or I hear about something that interests me, so I go look it up, and sure enough, there it is. So without further ado, let's start off with the Shout Factory sets I got. I didn't get a whole lot, obviously. There's not really a whole lot in there that I was really looking for or wanted, but a few things. I managed to finally pick up after forever. I don't know why I was holding off on this, but I never got around to it, and that was Mystery Science Theater 3000 Season 12, The Gauntlet. Of course, on Netflix. I have Season 11 from them, and I have yet to finish watching it, honestly. I think I got like partway through that and haven't got back into watching it. Not that I didn't enjoy it, I just haven't got back to it. So I'm looking forward to finishing that up and checking this out. And of course, these are the films that are riffing on here, for those of you who don't know. And I guess even though they were canceled by Netflix, which is stupid, they did have I think a Kickstarter project, so they're just releasing a whole bunch of new episodes online somewhere. I'm not sure the exact details of that, but and here's the discs. I didn't know, they got funded pretty quickly, and they're doing about quite a few episodes, so that'd be kind of cool to check out. But anyway, there's these. This 3 discs. So there is that. The next one is a box I've been wanting to get for the longest time, but I can never do it because the price was so high. It was well over $100, and I kept waiting and waiting for this price to go down, and it just seemed like it would never quite get low enough. Finally, with the sale, it got knocked down to about $70. Still a little pricey, but it's a complete TV series. And that series is, it's a heavy one too, The Jeffersons, the complete series. And you can see this is a pretty hefty box set. You've got 11 seasons wrapped up in this. So I've been wanting to get this set for the longest time, but like I said, here's the top of that. This has not been cheap, and you've got 253 episodes. Look at the back here, the complete series, plus a bunch of bonus stuff. There's bonus episodes here from All in the Family and from the short-lived spin-off. What was it called? With Florence checking in. So you've got Moving On Up, the Jeffersons featurette. The Jeffersons Move Up was an All in the Family episode where the Jeffersons leave to go to Manhattan. Whose Side Are You On? A never before released episode of Marla Gibbs' spinoff series Checking In, plus an episode of the ER pilot, not the ER from the 90s or 2000s, whatever, with the George Clooney ER. This is an E/R sitcom. I don't think it lasts very long, but it's a pilot where Sherman Hemsley appears as George Jefferson. This is from 1984. I think that Elliot Gould starred in that series, if memory serves. Plus, you got a 48-page booklet, and this is a groundbreaking sitcom along with All in the Family, which they do have, which I was tempted. But the problem with me, if I got All in the Family, is that I want R.J. Bunker's place because I'm a completist, and only so many of those seasons were released. So there you go. Which hinders me with stuff like I have What's Happening in the complete series, but then they only release What's Happening Now, one season of it. Instead, there's like 2 or 3 more seasons remaining. I think 2 more seasons. I think both were 3 seasons long. And I think individually on DVD, these were released only up to like season maybe 4 or 5, and then he'll get the rest in this box set from Shout Factory. Excuse me. Oh yeah, and this is cheap. This is a DVD set, not a Blu-ray, so maybe it's a slight cheat. But I mean, this is a very, very little ad for you. Very nice box. This is very hard cardboard. And when I first, all the ads I saw, I thought this was a straight picture. But if you look at it, I don't know if you see it close. This is actually like a painting or, drawing of this. And it's really nice. It's really pretty. This is a great presentation. Of course, you've got your booklet, same artwork. And it's the episode guide, basically. There's also inside here, the first couple pages is a little write-up, but mostly it's the entire episode guide of the Jeffersons. And then you've got your seasons 1 and 2. Let's see, shows right. Seasons 3 and 4. 5 and 6. 7 and 8. 9 and 10. And then you've got season 11 plus the bonus disc. Of course, in the back of these, they all basically break down the discs each episode, which is nice. It's a good way with big sets like these to have that. It's one of my irks with the Idle of Laverne and Shirley Complete series, and that's a packaging I don't like. It's a big, all full series, but they've got everything, the discs all packed on top of each other. Open it like kind of like a book format, but you've got like 4 or 5 discs stacked on top of each other. It's horrible, hard way to get through that. This is much more like the One Day at a Time box set, which I also really liked, where they put all the sets together. So there is that. Because this is one I've been wanting to get for a long, long time, but just couldn't afford it. And so finally, this sale came. I said, "That's it. I'm gonna do it." So there you go. Now back to our regular scheduled Blu-ray program. I got a couple titles here. Most, like I said, a few of these are replacement discs for stuff I have, but some of these are new. Stuff I didn't have before that, for whatever reason, never got around to it or didn't think about it. But I would hear a couple things or, listen to a podcast, watch another video on YouTube, and remind me, hey, why don't I have that? Why don't I get that? Case in point, the classic War of the Worlds. And this is the Criterion Collection. Now, I know this is kind of bad timing, as I just saw that they're releasing this along with another sci-fi movie, and I can't think what the other one is. I'll put it right here with that. It's a double feature with that. It's going to drive me nuts. But this set is, like I said, the Criterion Collection. I know their sets are usually pretty good, and it's loaded. And I got this from watching, actually a couple of these, watching Brandon Tenold's, cult movie review show episode on this, and which is hilarious. I love his channel and his reviews, and I'll put a link to him in the description. But if you haven't checked him out, definitely do. He's a lot of fun. But he reviewed this, and I got thinking, and I had seen War of the Worlds a long time ago. I was like, why don't I have this movie? This is a classic movie. I looked it up and found his Criterion Collection and picked it up immediately. So you see up there's your special features. And you've got nice little fold-out book here. Booklet will fold up, read out, fold up. I can't speak. Fold out, nice little essay in the film. Some credits and this little artwork in the back here, which is nice. And I haven't seen this movie in a long, long time. Probably since I was a kid. I saw it on either on TV or maybe VHS. I'm pretty sure it's probably the TV viewing I saw. That was at the time when the War of the Worlds TV series was debuting on Fox, or at least I think it was a syndicated TV series, but it was airing on our Fox affiliate here in Indiana way back 1980, whatever that was. So they aired the War of the Worlds movie prior to that. That's the first time I got to see it. I remember really enjoying it, but I kind of, out of sight, out of mind for the longest time after that. I did started watching the series. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Nothing. I remember Adrian Paul was in it eventually somewhere. And I know it reran on Sci-Fi some years later, but that's all I remember of that series. But so anyways, yeah, Criterion Collection and War of the Worlds, now in my collection. Next up was one I mentioned in a couple videos, or actually the last video, when I did Ants. And that was that I picked up from Warner Archive, The Swarm. You know, big budget killer bee movie with a huge all-star cast. Like I said, this is probably, you know, if you're looking for a big budget disaster or killer bees, this is the one you want to go with. And from judging by the time on here, the runtime, which I can't read the fine print on here, so I'm not going to try. But I do know this is, I believe, the longer director's cut or whatever. It's like 200 and some 40-some minutes maybe. It's a long movie. I remember a couple years ago we saw this at the drive-in, Skyline Drive-in there for their Monster Movie Fest that year, which the theme was bugs, and this one, and this was a long movie, but it was fun. It was crazy, but it had Olivia de Havilland in it from Gone with the Wind. If you hear that noise, that's my ice maker in my refrigerator. I do apologize. But if you see the back here, there's a big, you know, all your big stars on this film. It's crazy. You know, only no special features on here really. Just well, there's a behind-the-scenes documentary inside the Swarm, and there's also the theatrical trailer. But let's see, you've got, look at the Michael Caine. There you go, Michael Caine, Catherine Ross. What's that? Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, Lee Grant, Jose Ferrer, Patty Duke, Slim Pickens, Fred McMurray, and Henry Fonda, all in this film. So this is, again, a case where it's a big budget disaster, and it's got all your, you know, these big name Hollywood stars at the time. Music by Jerry Goldsmith, Academy Award winner Jerry Goldsmith. So that's, you know, I think it was actually directed by Irwin Allen, who was the producer of a lot of these disaster films at the time. If I'm looking at this right again. Yes, produced and directed by Irwin Allen, so The Swarm. And it's a Warner Archive, so you're not going to get a whole lot out of it, but you do have this great little discard. Next up, this one is, I found just looking for other stuff, and this one popped up on you know, you might like this on Amazon. And it's one I have, so this is a replacement. And it's Return of Swamp Thing. The sequel to Wes Craven's 1982, I believe, Swamp Thing. Get some glare off that. This is the MVD release. I have the DVD, like special edition, or I think it has a lot of the same features. So here's the back of that, so you can see those features because I can't read them. I'm sorry about that glare. I'm trying to avoid that. It's actually daytime here for a change. And I had the DVD. I have the original Swamp Thing, the Scream Factory special edition, so the Blu-ray for that. So I figured, what the heck, and it was relatively cheap. This has reverse cover art. You know, nothing too fancy. Just basically the same image with a different kind of background and font, if you will. Yeah, that's really about it. I mean, all the other images are the same, just the coloring and the font is different. And the big Blu-ray DVD, because this is the Blu-ray DVD combo. And it comes with this great little mini poster, which is kind of neat. Of Swampy and Heather Locklear. There you go. And we got, this is an MVD. It's the first one of the first two of these MVD sets or discs ever bought, and it's a pretty plain label. It almost looks, you know, like it's ripped. Not quite legit, but you know, they are. So there's that. Return to Swamp Thing. This is actually kind of cool because I just bought tickets today to go see Riff Tracks live next month, and they're actually doing Return of Swamp Thing, so that should be a lot of fun. Now, the other one I picked up from MVD, and actually this is credit to Brandon Tenold's channel as well, because he just reviewed this, and this movie I'd never seen. I'd seen the sequel, but I had never seen this one. I know, of course, it's a famous cult bad film, and he reviewed it, and I'm like, you know what? I should get this movie. I feel like I should have this movie. And I looked it up and found the MVD had a collector's edition, or it's from the Rewind Collection, and that is the famous Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. What can be said? I'll get that glare. Sorry. I'm surrounded by glare. I can't really avoid it. And this is a nice little loaded Blu-ray here in DVD combo. There's your... There we go. There we go. Special features on there. And it looks like it's 4K digital remastering, and there's, you know, some bonus featurettes, trailer, I think some of the original short films prior to this, and a couple other things, and it's really nice. This one does not have reverse artwork. It does have the plain labels, and of course a mini poster just like the Return of the Swamp Thing. Here you go. Arg. You'll never look at vegetables the same way again. And since I got this, well, I just had to reach out and get Arrow's release of Return of the Killer Tomatoes. This is the one I had seen. I think it played on Showtime or HBO when I was a kid. I only saw it like the one time, but I remember it. And most of them had George Clooney in it. So, and from here, this spun off into two more sequels. The Killer Tomatoes Strike Back and the Killer Tomatoes Eat France, along with an animated series. And so here's your reverse artwork. Just angry tomato. While we're at it, let's go ahead and show you the special features that are on here. Not too much on here. I actually, I watched both of these recently. I saw the second one with my wife, which she got a kick out of. The breaking the fourth wall. I mean, it's all like if you've never seen either one of these movies, it's very much Airplane-esque. Zucker Brothers kind of comedy. A lot of slapsticky, a lot of sight gags or play on words. But the second one is especially really good when they break the fourth wall, and there's a scene where they gotta stop filming because they ran out of money. So George Clooney decides, well, maybe we should do product placement. So through a good portion of the film, I thought they're clearly shilling products. And it's silly, but it's fun at the same time. And this movie's just fun. You've got John Astin hamming it up as the evil scientist, Dr. Gangrene, and you've got just tomatoes. Not as many killing tomatoes as the first one. You don't get the cool image of tomatoes wreaking havoc, but still, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend Return of the Killer Tomatoes. See, this was there it went. I was from Arrow Video, still readily available on Amazon. Now the last two, these I picked up from Amazon, their Prime sale, and I was looking around again trying to find something. The problem with the Prime sale is it's very seldom they do anything for movies or whatnot and kind of sale. At least nothing I'm interested in. They were doing a sale on some of the box sets, and there were a couple that I picked up. One was interesting because I was just thinking I need to get something to replace one of these movies. How would I do that? And I just happened to find this, and this was marked down to about, I think from like about 30 or 40 down to about $25. And that was the Terminator 6 film collection on Blu-ray. All 6 films in the series for $25, and that's a damn good deal. I couldn't pass it up. And all of us at the T1 through 6 almost make it look like the Terminator kind of model. And it's not because, these are all individual discs. Obviously, I think they're just a regular disc from the sets combined here, but that's okay. I think I've only got up to Salvation, and that's the only one that's a Blu-ray. The rest were all DVD. And my main catalyst for picking this set up, besides being cheap, was I needed to replace my T2 DVD. And I'll show you why. Because here is my... This is way back when this solid tin slip case, which looks really cool, right? But every time I pull off the shelf, that happens. And it drives me nuts. That always flies right out of there. This is how this is, cool, and not practical. But here's my Terminator 2 DVD from way back when. And this is a great DVD. So it had, the director's cut, the theatrical cut, hours of special features, which all are actually on the Blu-ray of the Terminator 2. So I'm not losing anything from this. All I'm losing is this damn slipcase. This faux tin slipcase, which drove me crazy. It's drove me crazy for years. Especially when I'm rearranging the shelf and I get down there and I pull something out, I always forget it would slide right out. Oh well. I haven't looked at this in a long time. But you have a little note on here about some of the minor difficulties you might have on this with your player and this DVD. It says, due to the advanced features utilized in the creation of this DVD, some players may experience minor navigation difficulties. This should not affect your enjoyment of the feature program in any way. For questions or comments, please write THX Digital Mastering Program, blah, 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 blah. That's interesting. This was I remember when this came out, this was a very high-tech DVD because it was a lot the branching technology where you could, how you could watch the two, Terminator, the director's cut, the theatrical cut, the scenes spliced together, however, but that was very high-end at the time for this. Now it's, new DTS 5.1 sound. It's crazy. So yeah, I really wanted to replace. It's good to have Terminators on Blu-ray because I have all on DVD except for Salvation. So I'm glad I was able to upgrade that to this nice slim set here. And by the looks, because I was looking at it to see, because it doesn't have like a region. I'm pretty sure it's region free from what I've seen. But if you look at the back here, you've got those little symbols I've seen like on Canadian releases, which is still region 1 even so, but there's no mark or region A, I should say. There's no region on it, so I'm assuming they're region free. If not, I'll find out. Even so, it doesn't matter. I have a region free player. So my last one was another set that it was a great deal. Again, down to $20. This is normally, they had it priced normally at about 40 or maybe even 50, but I think that's probably too high. It's probably about $40, $45. It's marked down to about 25. It's about half off. This was a great deal. And that is the Mummy Ultimate Trilogy 4K Blu-ray set. I'm a fan of these Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. The third one, I've only seen once. It's not, but I recently saw the first one again at the drive-in. And it was a lot of fun. I forget how much fun the movie is. So yeah, I went and picked up this set. No Scorpion King out here though. Shucks. I don't care for Scorpion King that much. Anyways, so here's this little back of the L card thing they call it, with all the features on here. And you've got deleted extended scenes, outtakes, behind the scenes featurettes, unraveling the legacy of the Mummy, building a better Mummy, feature commentaries, and much more. Of course, it's 4K, it's Blu-ray, and this is a beautiful, beautiful set. Here's the back of it. It's a nice little, and you can see this is a great set, but I have one complaint. I'll show you here in a minute. This is nice. This is magnetic, so it pops open, but you've got the movies, and they'll all kind of, there we go. They all open up, and there's a little card here. I think that's, yeah, there's a code on there too. But yeah, you've got the Mummy, and you've got your 4K and Blu-ray. Mummy Returns 4K Blu-ray, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor Blu-ray, and 4K. Now, this is a beautiful set. This looks really nice. The problem is the packaging leaves a lot to be desired. And that's because these, you see how they're stuck in here? These are in there very, very tight. I had a hard time pulling these out. I mean, look at that. I mean, put them upside down. They're just not even, you got to kind of really work to get these out, and I don't like that at all. For one, that's going to leave a lot of, it's inevitable to get, you're going to get fingerprint smudges all over. I guess you want to open this up with gloves. Maybe that will wear out in time. I don't know, but they're in very snug, and there's a worry of scratching or just getting fingerprints all over that. I would much rather they went with just the little hubs, the snap-ons, we're used to, or if they were. I know that's always a complaint with those pockets, because for that reason right there, that they fall off the slide, they're easily to damage, and in this case, it's probably the worst I've ever seen. I've always had a problem. Maybe they're too loose and off or their side. I never liked them when they're on the side because they can fall right out. I think like the Star Wars box that I have, Blu-ray is like that. They just fall out as well as at risk. So these are on the top, so there's not so much of a risk of falling out. But they're in there so snug, you really gotta try and get in there and get them. It's not like there's a way you could reach in there and get the whole little disc and kind of slide it out. So it's a lot of working and it's extra effort to be extremely careful getting this out. But take that away, this is a nice set. I mean, this is a nice set. Again, you got your 4K and your Blu-rays, and this was a legitimately priced, reasonably priced markdown. Again, this was during the Prime sale, so it's a little higher now. But maybe in that time that'll loosen if you watch them. Of course, it depends how much you're watching The Mummy. But so that is it for the pickups that I just recently got. And that's actually quite a lot. I had to think about it. I just kind of went on. Things were kind of quiet there for a little bit. Not a whole lot of new releases coming out that I'm expecting. A lot of stuff being pushed back till August, October. And I did put in some pre-orders. So the big one was the Star Treks on the 4K, the classic Star Trek films, especially the big motion picture Ultimate set, along with the other 5. I'm kind of teetering. Well, the big set was a no-brainer, 4K and all that. I think it's the only set that's containing, the director's cut, I think a theatrical cut, as well as I think never before released on disc television cut, only released on VHS way back when, and that like 6 or no, before that, because before that, the 6 set box set of VHS, there was the regular motion picture that had you could buy a television cut. So yeah, I don't think it's ever been released on disc. So, and that's in that big motion picture. Was it the Complete Adventure? I think it's what's called set. And then they're releasing a little box set of these films on 4K, which is upsetting some people because they just recently released movies 1 through 4 in a box set to 4K. Now it's the same set basically, but now they've added 5 and 6. I know a lot of people are not happy because they bought that. I held off because I'm like, if you're gonna get a box set, why you only got 4? We're just obviously gonna bring the other 2. But that being said, I'm kind of torn because they're releasing those movies individually, and I think I want them individually because I want the artwork for each one. Because I love those artwork on those first 6 films, where the box set's just 2 sets, discs, like in a book form, kind of flipping, which is okay sometimes depending on the film. But in this case, I really love that poster art, and those covers have that. I really love the poster art of Star Trek. I think I kind of want to get those individual discs. So there's that. That's like the big one. I just saw like yesterday, the day before, there's they're going to release a complete box set of Paranormal Activity. I forget, like the Chills, something like that. But it's basically all the Paranormal Activity films plus the one that was just released on was it Netflix or Prime? I can't remember which one it is. That one, plus a documentary about them, Amazon, or about the whole series. And it's a real nice set. So, I mean, that was like, it was amazing because I got it priced for about $65 in Amazon pre-order, and that's a nice big set. So I was kind of surprised it was that cheap so far. Now the discs look like the discs that were originally released in Blu-rays, including the 3D ones. I think you get all the movies, and plus you get for Ghost Mansion you get a Blu-ray and a Blu-ray 3D. That plus you get I can't remember what the one on the newer one released or is called. So excited to see that. Now, special feature wise, it's probably whatever feature were on the discs originally, minus that one whole disc for the documentary. So, but that's a big one, and I'm excited to get that. I think there's probably a few others, one or two titles, but those are like the big ones I've pre-ordered. So it's hard to believe that we're halfway through 2022. This is what, July 19th. Yes, so as I mark this down. Wife's birthday is tomorrow, so I gotta probably figure out what to do for her. Huh? I'm a good husband, I swear I am. Most days. Anywho, so that is this haul for now. As always, if you enjoy this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts on anything I've picked up here, what maybe you have pre-ordered, what you're looking forward to, your thoughts on Killer Tomatoes, the Terminator series, the Jeffersons, 78 sitcoms in general, The Mummy, difficult packaging, whatever it may be, or just say hi. I'll always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.